Okay, I'm back and I have set up my faceplate part, and these parts are all set to go, and I've got my glob of CA glue right here on my card. So let's go ahead and get started. It's pretty self-explanatory once you get going. So again, this is the tapered part, and you will be able to see it. And this is the ridged part, and this part is going to be sliding onto there and sitting right there. Okay, so let's do the first one. So I just got just enough on the edge, and I slide it right on there up at the edge. It's important that you slide it to the edge because you want these things to align appropriately, obviously. If you get any excess, you can remove it with a spatula or whatever. You know, you don't want too much spilling out. I don't know how it would affect the articulation abilities of this thing, but I certainly don't want to find out. So, okay, so another one. Let's see if you guys can see what I'm doing. Slide it along the glob of CA glue just enough. And you put it on there. Again, up until the edge, try and get them aligned as parallel as possible to each other. This sticks pretty fast. CA and resin really work well together. So that's two parts. Okay. So another one. Yeah, that one didn't come out right. I'll make sure it's aligned up to the ridge. Okay. There we go. And as you can see, they're aligning very nicely. It's actually a pretty nicely engineered aftermarket part, a lot nicer than a lot of other stuff I've seen out there. Okay. Come on. Works better if you have it on the table. Gives you more stability, but I wanted you guys to see it. Okay, good. Lining up nicely. Yep, dropped it. Okay, and so on and so forth. So you get the picture. So I'll go ahead and complete this, and then I'll be back. Alright, so here it is, completed. As you can see, it lines up quite nicely as long as you push it up against the edge. So this is the right. They have a mark on them. The right has an R and the left has an L. Just common terms for you and I, but naval terms, this would be the starboard wing. Okay? Alrighty. Okay, so this is a port disruptor. I've finished one half of it. The other half right here. Now I've got to chop off those two plastic ones and replace them with brass, and it'll sit right here. Ooh, excuse me. Don't worry, it's not Corona. Anyway, I'll be back. Okay, so I've finished the port disruptor, one half of it anyway. Same as I did the other one. Now the other half, I have to do it. I have to chop off those two plastic cannons and replace them with brass. And that'll sit like this right here. Okay? Alright. See you soon. Alright, so here is the reconstruction after I chopped off the plastic pieces. Next I will put a sleeve over here after I cut it, and one over here, and then a sleeve at the tips, so it's the same as that one. Okay. Alright, so I have completed the assembly of the two rods with the accessory sleeves, as you can see. Now I'm going to thread the fiber optic. Okay, I'm back. I had a little mishap with a lost part, so I'm going to try and get a replacement part from round 2. I had basically built my cannon for the port disruptor, and while trying to open it up and drilling it, the part flew away, and I've spent the last 2 days searching and haven't found it, so I'll have to reconstruct it. Anyway, while I wait for that, I wanted to show you the completed hinge assembly, all put together. This is the port side and the starboard side. The parts that I glued separately and showed you on the video are here, and you thread them through, and then you put the little rods in between. You can see that there's an arch there that I showed you before. It runs the length of the curved structure there, and the two rods anchor it in place so that they provide a track for it to articulate. And this is glued to, well, I'll show you. This is the port wing. This goes here. I'll have to see if it's simply glued or I can reinforce it, because it just doesn't feel very strong. But then again, the wing isn't very heavy, so that might be enough. We'll see. But it's supposed to go like that, and then basically it just articulates up or down, as you can see. And the same thing goes for the other side. Like that.
like that. So that's how the hinge assembly works. Pretty ingenious engineering, if I do say so, because that's impressive. And once it's assembled, it's going to look just like it's supposed to. Now, as far as the painting of this thing, I have read that it can't be very heavy. Of course, you would think if you start primering and painting this, it's going to mess with the mechanism. So I'll have to probably dust it with some kind of color very light that reproduces the color on the screen. I'll do some research on that. Black might be the way to go. I might just leave it like that. We'll see. But whatever it is, obviously I don't want to mess with the function of it, the articulation. Anyway, that's the hinge assembly. Okay guys, see you on the next one. Alright, I'm back, and I was able to submit a request for the missing part to round 2, and they confirmed by email that they received it. It's going to take a while, maybe about a month, but I think I'll get it. While I wait for that, I've decided to continue working on other parts. So I started drilling the windows using this bit. First one I didn't do that way, and so I'm going to have to fix it. As you can see, it's got a little defect there, but the others came out alright. I've also started cutting out this part, which is supposed to be cut out in its entirety so I could fit the hinge assembly, and I'm using a Dremel thin disc. I'll do a little bit here so you guys can see it. I used a straight edge to mark that, and so basically I'll just slice this segment off, leave the little tail here, and that's where the hinge assembly will go. Okay, see you on the next one. Right to your home. Visit us at sleepworld.com. Okay, so I'll cut this out. As you can see, I just need to smooth it and sand it. And let's see how the hinge assembly fits. Now, in the instructions, they cut here and here and separate these two. I get the feeling I'm going to have to do that to fit it, but I didn't do it initially, so we'll see. Yeah, you have to separate it. There's no way of doing it otherwise. There's just no way I'm going to be able to get that in there without separating it. There's no space. Okay, well that's what I figured. Okie doke.